Hey, welcome back, friends. If you want to join the friends, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Today we have updates for 2017. I just wanted to do kind of a year in review. This is a pretty big year for me because this is actually the first year of doing YouTube videos. I started about halfway through the year, so the first couple of updates throughout the year I may not have quite as much as for the rest of the year, but I want to cover everything anyway. So without further ado, let's get into January. Start with January, we have the Soul Reaper update. Now this was a pretty big update to a lot of comp capers because all of a sudden they had to do Soul Reaper to get their comp capes back, and it was a surprise. They didn't give any former notice or anything, so that was why I wanted to add this to the list. Soul Reaper kind of screwed over a lot of people. I think it took like 2 or 3 months to get your soul or your comp cape back if you didn't have enough Soul Reaper points to start out with. So it kind of changed the way that Jagex does things, where they actually give you guys a couple of weeks notice or a little bit of grace period if there is any major updates to comp cape. The next thing in January is going to be Next Angel of Death. Now, this is a very big group boss that a lot of people enjoy doing. I gave pretty good rewards. Tier 99 prayers, pretty good. So I wanted to add that to the list, obviously. It is one of 2 major bosses that was released this year, so pretty nice. Also an homage to the original Next that came out in January as well. I think it was like 6 years later they finally did a kind of hard mode for Next. It has very good mechanics too, so that's kind of nice. In February, we had our first bonus experience weekend. This introduced Tail Off XP, so that it kind of gives you a little bit of a catch-up mechanic if you haven't gotten 99 already. Because with level 99, a lot of skills are a lot faster, and with the Tail Off XP, it just gives you bonus XP for the next million experience that you get. I think it's about 500,000 extra experience that you get, so for higher level players, it's not quite as big to get 500,000 experience, but if you're a lower level player, that tail off experience is absolutely massive. So nice little catch-up mechanic that they've added into the game with the bonus experience weekends. Next up is skill capes. I didn't actually know that they came out this year. Well, skill capes didn't come out this year, but the skill cape perks did. It's just something that's kind of part of the game for me. Being able to switch out your magic spellbook wherever you want, teleporting to Slayer Masters, rune crafting cape. It gives you a chance at knowing the Viswax combination, or at least one of the 3 pieces of it. So very nice little update. Don't know how much time that took to do. It seems kind of like a hidden little mini update, but pretty nice. Last thing for February is going to be Back to the Freezer. If you didn't figure it out, it was about time traveling. I personally didn't do the update. I did do a little bit of research on it, and it seems to be the first quest that actually gives you invention experience, assuming you have invention unlocked. So pretty nice. Might be a staple quest if you are training up a new account, just to do Back to the Freezer really quick, get your 10,000 invention experience as soon as you start up invention. In March is going to be the Runespan rewards update. This was pretty big for me because that means I don't need to have the higher level portal in my max guild portals anymore. So pretty nice to be able to change that out to a higher level portal there. A lot of the other little rewards like teleports, you can get the Master Rune Crafter robes now from Runespan points. So finally a good way to get that set. As well as a couple of teleports and unstable essence. Those all got introduced into the game with the rewards update. And lastly for March is going to be the luck rework. This made it so that treasure trails was actually worth doing again, just because occasionally you'll get a reward that gives you fortunate components, and fortunate components are going for like 300,000 at the very minimum nowadays. So really nice. Luck of the Doors, pretty good ring, as well as basically revitalizing treasure trails, and they're going to be planning on doing a rework in the future. Starting with April is going to be the Gemstone Dragons. Honestly, kind of iffy rewards, but they do give pretty good Slayer experience and combat experience, so can't complain too much about them. Kind of is going towards the way that they want to go with Slayer, in my opinion, where they can give you faster experience with higher level creatures, but they don't necessarily give you tons and tons of loot or anything like that. That being said, on task, they actually aren't bad GP per hour. It's just that you have to pay, I think it's about 5,000 to 6,000 GP to actually kill these things if you are not on task. So, kind of weird thing to do to the game, but not bad. Also, in April is going to be the Spring Fair. It was pretty nice little update, little temporary thing that they added to the game. Let's go ahead into May, though. They added Shattered Worlds. Absolutely horrible when it first came out. Excellent idea. I love the idea. When it came out, it was broken as heck. Basically, you get a lot of anima really quickly when you first start out, but it tanks off as soon as you can, or as soon as you don't get the progressing to new worlds up extra anima anymore. You got 0 rewards. Like, it would take you 20-30 hours to get 1 Slayer mask. Definitely not worth doing. Glad that they reworked that. It'll be in the future updates a couple months from now. And the second double experience weekend was in May as well, 19th of May. So this is going to be the one that they were kind of doing to get you ready for Menaphos if anybody wasn't quite at those levels yet. Or if you were starting a new account, you probably could get the levels for Menaphos from that one double experience weekend. So pretty nice that they decided to do that right before a major update. That leads me right into June, though. June was Menaphos month. That's all there was that month. They did a lot of little updates to Menaphos. I think they released in like 2 or 3 little batches. They released majority of everything in the first batch, and then they did some basically bug fixes and other things in June. This is basically when my YouTube channel started, though, so I have very fond memories of Menaphos. I know it's a kind of mid-level area, so a lot of people think that it's kind of useless, but if you're a mid-level player, this is where you train. This is your life. Menaphos is your life as a mid-level player. It's kind of like Prifundus when it first came out for higher level players. So very nice update. I know I did a lot of stuff in Menaphos when it first came out for the first couple months, and like I said, the Soul Altar is what really made this YouTube channel even hit the market at all. I was getting maybe 20 views per video. I released a video first on Soul Altar. I got it the weekend out before, weekend after Menaphos got released. I released a video about the Soul Altar, and it exploded this channel. It's gotten me to where I am today, so I'm always going to have good memories about Menaphos, even if it's kind of a mid-level area. And when I start a new account at some point in the future, I know I'm going to be using Menaphos quite a bit. In July, Menaphos actually kind of finished up all of its updates. With the Magister. That's a second boss that they released in 1 year, so pretty nice to get 2 bosses in 1 year, and both of them are pretty high level. I know that I released a video when it first came out saying do not kill the Magister because you're going to lose all your money. That may still be the truth. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the prices of keys and everything for quite a while. But honestly, just getting more tier 92s into the game is always nice. It reduces the cost of all tier 92s if you just get more into the game. I'm really looking forward to Solok as well when it releases the tier 92 range weapons. In July, you also have the Beach. This is another pretty good update for me because I got quite a few views on my, what the heck are they called? Those little reindeer, Terror Bird Racing. The Terror Bird Racing update was pretty nice for me because I got quite a few views on that. I'm going to plan on making that every single time Terror Bird Racing comes around. Gives you pretty good agility experience. I know a lot of people train up like that. Also, when it was the heat waves for lower level players, this is insane agility XP per hour. So definitely nice for lower level players. And if you just wanted some extra cosmetic rewards, definitely nice for any player. In August, I didn't really have any major updates, so I decided to add Crystal Skill Champas to the list because it actually reworked all of the skill Champas as well, which means that it kind of revolutionized the Hunter skill, the way that you would typically train it, as well as the best XP per hour in the game, because Crystal Skill Champas actually are better than Grenwalls now, so new best way of training Hunter, as well as revolutionizing how the rest of Hunter is trained. Definitely worth putting onto this list. And also, Shadow Worlds got updated in August. Definitely was a needed update. I know a lot of people still think that's going to get updated even more. I think this is the end of the Shadow Worlds updates. A lot of people kind of complain about it because they get too many points because it's the best way of training combat. Why would you complain about that? It's the best way of training combat. that's why you're doing it. You don't need to get rewards on top of that. It's kind of nice to get all the Slayer masks though, because then you don't get them on the treasure hunter rolls. But also, it's just good rewards. Slayer masks are kind of a niche object, which is why people don't think it's worth doing Shadow Worlds for their rewards like that. But I really like the idea of the Slayer masks being available in game, so I fully support the whole just leave it the way it is. September, the boss drop collection got updated. This is another good one for me. It's not necessarily for most players, because most players don't care about a boss collection log or anything silly like that. It's just silly little titles. But for me, it's something to go towards for my channel, trying to get all the boss titles. I think I only have one right now, and I've been doing this for the last 2 to 3 months, so that's a little bit embarrassing, but in the future I'll have a little bit more time to actually dedicate to that. But pretty nice update for me. And in September you also had the third double experience weekend. This was a pretty packed full week, or month, because you get double experience number 3, which is very nice, followed up on the next Monday by Invention Batch 2. A lot of good rewards. I've slowly covered a couple of the rewards, but there's just so much Invention Batch 2 that I couldn't cover everything. Machines absolutely insane good at money every single week whenever you check your invention machines. But also just having the miraculous cure, the potion reservoir, a lot of little things that people don't realize are so good. On top of that, they also released the Lost Grove in September. Nice hidden update also, and they just dropped it on us. Gave a couple extra Slayer monsters to kill. Also, it lets you know that Solak is coming in the future. I think it's planned out for March. I would expect it more towards summertime. But Solak is going to be pretty nice to get released into the game as well, and that's part of the Lost Grove. October, we're starting to get towards the end of the year, and there's not a whole lot of updates towards the end of the year this year, unfortunately. I think that they're starting to dedicate more towards getting RuneScape Mobile out and ready to go, so it seems like the updates kind of slowed down towards the end of the year, but it's still not horrible. October, you got some free-to-play updates. Basically, it's the start of it. The next couple months, they've been doing more free-to-play updates. Again, just getting ready for RuneScape Mobile and kind of getting a little bit of extra development time onto RuneScape Mobile from what I can see. Also in October, Dimension of the Damned got started. Was really promising. I really enjoyed it, but you'll hear about it next month as well when I talk about November. Talking about which, let's just get into November. Revolution update. That was very nice. That means that you could use thresholds just on your Revolution bar. Going to be really nice for RuneScape Mobile, as well as just making everything a little bit more AFK, making it more kind of the combat that everybody's used to, where you just kind of click and go. Tooltip updates. I know this was just a tap project, but I absolutely love this update. Just being able to scroll over something and seeing what's in it, or the percentage, or the item level, or whatever it is for invention. Very, very nice. Little things like this go a long way into making the game a lot better. Also in November, we have the Dimension of the Damned finale. Yeah, that took a while. It was over a month from when it started till its end, and the ending was not good. I don't know if anybody even got the rewards yet. Yeah, that whole entire thing was a clown fiesta. Just not good. They need to plan it out and get it all perfectly working before they decide to do something like this again. I know that the old school RuneScape, they already have their whole thing going on. If they plan on trying to do something that imitates that, this was not the way to go. I'm sorry that a lot of people put a lot of development time into this just for it to be not good. In November, we also had the Evil Dave quest, though. Nice little comedy update. I know a lot of people didn't like it. Again, it's meant for mid-level players, and it gives a decent amount of experience for mid-level players, so I'm not going to comment too much on it. If I am training up a new account, definitely worth doing Evil Dave quest as soon as I have the requirements for it, though, because you get quite a few rewards. In December, there's nothing. They didn't even release it behind the scenes until about a week and a half after December started. They had a patch update. Again, I do appreciate the patch updates. I think they go a long way towards making this game as good as they are. You can't do a whole entire month without any updates and not expect us to expect something in January. They did have the g-nome project. It basically just feels like a, I don't know, a Christmas update, the temporary update. It doesn't feel like a full game update to me. Yeah, December was kind of frustrating. I know that they're getting a lot of work into RuneScape Mobile, so if they're planning on announcing that in January, February, definitely worth doing this kind of no real update month in December. But it's kind of dismal to have nothing right at the end of the year. I guess that's just how games work, though. I know that there's no big AAA games getting released in December either, so games kind of just taper off towards the end of the year. But I don't know. They need to release something in January, February to make it worthwhile. All in all, though, a pretty good year. If you didn't notice from everything I was saying, there was a lot of updates this year. 2 bosses, a lot of Slayer updates. I know when Menaphos came out, I didn't mention it. They released 120 Slayer, as well as a lot of different creatures for Slayer. A whole new Slayer dungeon. A lot of things were released this year. A lot of things were revolutionized. They tried out Dimension of the Damned. I don't think it worked, but it's good to know that they're still trying new things. If you guys all enjoy this, I would love it if you leave a like, comment, and subscribe as well. I plan on doing this every single year. If you also subscribe to my channel, you will see that I'm going to be doing future updates, what we know about 2018 and beyond. So make sure you check that out. As always, though, have a good one.